Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into the most colossal, literally globe-stopping sporting event on the planet. I mean, whether you're a diehard fan or just trying to keep up with the water cooler Chad, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. We're talking about the 2026 World Cup, the event that just completely takes over the globe.
5 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. Right now, about 5 billion people all around the world are making plans around this single sporting event. I mean, that number is almost impossible to wrap your head around, right? It totally dwarfs the Super Bowl. It is significantly larger than the Olympics. It is, quite literally, the biggest thing on the planet. So, if you're tuning into this explainer, you probably already appreciate the sport, but let's really get into why this specific event drives half the world absolutely crazy. Like, why does an entire country literally come to a complete standstill over a final score that might just be 1-0? Why are grown adults weeping in the streets? Well, by the end of our time together today, we're going to unpack exactly why the stakes for this tournament matter so much.
Section 1. What is the World Cup?
Okay, let's dive into this. The FIFA World Cup is a football, or, soccer if you prefer, tournament that's held every 4 years. And it's fascinating, because this isn't just your standard bracket. This is the biggest tournament in the history of organized sports, period. You have 48 different countries sending their absolute best teams to compete on the ultimate global stage. Now, the absolutely crucial thing to understand here is exactly who is playing. There's a vital difference. These are not your everyday club teams. See, club teams are basically all-stars, right? They're players from all over the world, bought and paid for by a specific city's team. But the World Cup features actual national teams. These rosters are strictly made up of players who are born in or are eligible to represent that specific country. So when the USA plays, it's exclusively players representing America. When Brazil steps onto the pitch, it's the absolute best Brazilians in the world. It is an incredibly intense, patriotic country versus country showdown, kind of like the Olympics, but entirely focused on football, and honestly, somehow even more intense. In 2026, it is incredibly historic. For the first time ever, the World Cup is being hosted right here in North America, completely spanning the United States, Canada, and Mexico. We are talking about matches happening in massive hubs like LA, New York, Dallas, Miami, and Chicago. It is a logistical behemoth. From June 11th all the way to July 19th, we are getting 39 straight days of football. That packs in 104 total matches to crown just one champion. Section 2. How the tournament works. Let's break it down.
So, Phase 1 is the group stage. The 48 teams are split up into 12 groups, with 4 teams in each group. Every team plays the other 3 teams in their group exactly one time. And look, it's all about accumulating points. It's pretty simple. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, which is just a tie, and 0 points for a loss. At the end of this stage, the top teams from each group advance. For 2026, 32 teams will survive and move on. Now, that might sound like a lot of teams making it through, but let me tell you, every single tournament, massive, fan-favorite teams fail to get enough points and have to go home early. The drama literally starts right here.
Okay, once those 32 teams are locked in, we enter Phase 2, the knockout rounds. This is pure, unadulterated elimination. If you lose one game, you're done. Your tournament is over. Pack your bags. It flows right down the bracket, from the round of 32 to the round of 16, into the quarterfinals for the top 8, semifinals for the top 4, and, finally, the World Cup final. If you've ever watched college basketball's March Madness, you already know this knockout format. It's exactly that same frantic do-or-die energy, except, well, the entire planet is watching. And it all leads to this. One match. The winner takes absolutely everything. This climactic finale is going down on July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, right outside New York City. Think about that. The entire globe's attention entirely focused on a single patch of grass.
Section 3. More than just a game.
Now, what's really interesting about the global sentiment is that in most of the world, football isn't just a game you play on the weekends. It is identity. It's community. It is the one unifying thing that absolutely everyone, rich, poor, young, old, watches together. In Brazil, kids grow up kicking balls in the street with the singular dream of playing in this tournament. Over in Argentina, the World Cup is treated like a literal national religion. In England, fans have been agonizingly waiting to win it again since 1966. And in places like Morocco, their unbelievable run to the semifinals in 2022 made an entire continent, Africa, feel represented on the world stage for the very first time. It unites people like absolutely nothing else.
And for the athletes themselves, The rarity of this opportunity is just agonizing. Think about it. A top-tier professional club player might get the chance to win a league championship every single year. But the World Cup? That only happens every 4 years. That means it might only come around 4 times in a player's entire career, and that's if they are incredibly lucky and manage to stay healthy. For a lot of guys, it comes around just once. And for some exceptionally talented players, their country never even qualifies, and they never make it at all. That agonizing wait is exactly why we get such incredible outbursts of emotion. Lionel Messi is widely considered the greatest player to ever live, yet he waited his entire career to capture this specific trophy. When Argentina finally won in 2022, he was 35 years old, and he just cried like a child right there on the field. All that emotion, all that immense pressure finally releasing. It's just a beautiful illustration of exactly how real these stakes are. This is the absolute pinnacle of human athletic achievement.
Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds for the American team. Team USA's big moment.
So where exactly does America fit into all this global drama? Well, the U.S. men's national team qualified automatically this year since they're a host nation, and they're stepping onto the stage with a genuinely exciting young squad. We're talking household names in worldwide football circles like Christian Pulisic. And their journey kicks off really soon. The USA plays their opening match this Friday, June 12th, against Paraguay right under the bright lights at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.
Which naturally leads to the big question. Could the USA actually go deep in this tournament? Genuinely? Yes! I mean, they have a massive home crowd advantage, playing in front of tens of thousands of screaming American fans. You combine that with the fact that this is the youngest and most talented American squad in a generation, and a deep run through those knockout stages is absolutely possible. Section 5. Your Quick Watch Guide.
Look, you aren't going to have to search hard to find the games. Every single match is being broadcast on Fox and FS1 in the US. If you're a streamer, everything is right there on the Fox app. And even better, select matches, including that massive USA opening game we just talked about, are going to be completely free to watch on Tubi. So the logistics? Incredibly easy.
Now, I totally get it. 104 matches sounds incredibly overwhelming. So here is your stress-free viewing strategy for beginners. You do not need to watch every game. Actually, scratch that. Don't even try to watch every game. Start by just watching the USA matches. Then pick just one group stage game featuring a traditional giant, someone like Brazil, France, or England. Just do that to feel the incredible atmosphere and see the world's best talent. And after that, just tune in for the knockout rounds, because that is where the pure, unscripted drama lives.
So, are you ready? You don't need to be a football expert to enjoy this. You really just need to know enough to follow the emotional highs and lows. And hey, now you have the structure to do exactly that. If you're still wondering about the nitty-gritty stuff, like how the offside rule actually works, what the heck VAR is, or why players seem to fall over so dramatically, don't even worry about it. I've got a whole series of explainers dropping this week that break down those exact rules in plain English. The tournament starts in just 3 days. 5 billion people are pulling up a seat. So the only question left is, whose jersey are you going to wear? I'll see you in the next explainer.